Hey guys, this is Nico. So you decided to dive into the fascinating and beautiful world of Japanese language learning, but you're feeling a bit lost. Don't worry, I got you covered on this. This is why I have put together the ultimate beginner's guide to kick off your Japanese language learning journey. Oh, and stick around until the end as I have a very special surprise just for you. To keep things simple, let's start with the basics. If you want to start learning Japanese, the easiest thing is to start with what is called the Kanas. Actually, Japanese is composed of three writing systems. You have the Kanas that are two-syllable based ones with the hiraganas and Katakanas, and you have the famous Kanji that is commonly referred to as ideograms. Oh, and if you want to learn more about Japanese and discover crazy insights about the benefits of learning it, you should check out this video full of inspiring tips. In order to streamline your learning, you should focus on the two KANA systems. As mentioned, these are syllable-based systems comprising roughly 48 characters each. You should start with the hiragana system, and with a bit of dedication, you can master it in less than 3 days. There are no secret techniques here. Just focus and concentrate on practicing writing and reading each symbols. But here's a pro tip to accelerate your learning. There is a specific order you should keep in mind when starting learning the hiragana system. This system is structured around a simple logic, which is just declinations of the following 5 syllables a, I, U, E, O. These 5 syllables form the first column on the right-hand side of the hiragana chart. After mastering this first column, proceed to the subsequent columns from right to left with ka, ki, ku, ke, ko, and sa, shi, su, se, so, and so on. Completing this will yield a significant reward, as you will be able to write and read some Japanese. But maybe more importantly, you will have covered all the pronunciations in the Japanese language. If you're like me, coming from a Western language, you will realize that unlike some other Asian languages like Chinese, the Japanese pronunciation is quite straightforward. After learning and practicing hiraganas, you can move on to the katakanas. This will be easier, as it follows exactly the same logic and structure as the hiraganas. Same advice here. Practice writing each characters, starting with the first column, which is a, I, U, E, O, and then progress leftward through the other column. In theory, you could use only one of these systems to write and read the entire Japanese language. But to fully grasp their usage, especially how hiragana and katakanas are applied, consider watching this video on the subject that will provide you all the insights you might need. While you are learning some kanas, it is a great idea to simultaneously start learning some vocabulary. But you might wonder where to begin. A practical approach is to use the resources aligned with the GLPT, which is the Japanese Language Proficiency Test. The GLPT is the benchmark for Japanese certification. It offers 5 levels, from N1 to N5, N5 being the most basic. For starters, you should focus on the type of vocabulary designated for the N5 level, which includes the most essential vocabulary for beginners. There are several online free resources that can guide you on this. But to be more specific, here's an example of a website you can use that carries some essential material that can guide you in learning Japanese when you begin. Learning Japanese vocabulary will not only boost your language proficiency, but also enhance your ability to read and write the hiraganas and katakanas you have already been learning. This foundational knowledge will be crucial as you progress. Before we move on, here is a quick tip. As your vocabulary grows, you should pay attention to the memorizing techniques that will help you retain what you already have been learning. I already made a video you can find here about how you can hack your brain to optimize and improve your learning and memory retention. The grammar step is super rewarding as it will allow you to build your first sentences, combining what you already have learned. Japanese grammar has a very unique structure, making it essential to grasp if you want to learn the language efficiently. Oh, and spoiler alert, Japanese grammar can be quite challenging as it is used to convey all the meaning and the nuances in a sentence. However, just like the vocabulary, you can begin by focusing on the most basic grammatical structures. Focusing on the most commonly used forms, for example the ones listed in the GLPT N5 level, will provide you a clear starting point. Before moving on, I highly recommend you starting your Japanese learning journey with a textbook, which is especially useful for learning grammar. For instance, textbooks provide structured content and exercise to practice. To make it easier, here's a curated list of the best books that I have tried. You have Genki, an integrated course in elementary Japanese that has 2 volumes. And you also have Minano Nihongo, which is another highly regarded series of books. Links of these resources are available in the section down below. Completing these books should provide you with a solid understanding of Japanese, enabling you to structure your future learning endeavors more independently. But starting with a structured approach like a textbook can prevent many challenges. Kanji is the third writing system in Japanese, but is perhaps the most daunting one. It involves over 2,000 characters, which can seem overwhelming for many learners. However, it is important not to let this intimidate you. Focusing on the most used kanji will help you find a clear starting point. A good approach, as the one delivered for grammar and vocabulary, will be focusing on the kanjis listed in the GLPT N5 level. This selection represents the foundational kanjis that are essential for beginners and provide a manageable entry point in the broader world of kanji. I intentionally kept this section quite brief because as a beginner, it is not essential to prioritize kanji immediately. Mastering hiraganas and katakanas can provide a solid structure and foundation before tackling the complexity of kanjis. That being said, this might be the perfect opportunity to ask you guys if you have any interest in a deeper understanding and a dedicated video on kanjis. So feel free to drop a comment in the section down below to provide me with your insights, as it will help me tailor the content of future videos. Before we finish, here's the surprise I mentioned in the introduction of this video. I have recently created a whole YouTube playlist focused on Japanese learning that you can find here. I really think this can help you in your learning journey. But there is one more thing. Did you know that ChatGPT could be a valuable ally when you start learning Japanese? Let's try together with an actual question you can ask yourself when you start learning Japanese. Directly on ChatGPT, I have put in a question which is, give me a list of the most used vocabulary in Japanese. You can see here that it generates a list of curated verbs, noun, adjective, and so on that you can refer to when starting learning Japanese. Oh, and you can find here a video I already made about how to use ChatGPT in your learning journey. Hey guys, that wraps up the video. I really hope you liked it. Even if Japanese learning can be a big challenge, it is so passionate. But I'm going to need you to step in now, as there are many things to see when you start learning this language. Feel free to ask me in the comment section down below what you would like to see next. And don't forget to hit that bell icon in order to be the first one to see my upcoming content. Until next time, I'm out of here everybody. See you soon. Bye bye. Matane.